Okay. So
Okay.
Wait, let me, I want to look at it.
yeah, I do too, actually. In the meantime, I'll say to anyone who's already here, which is probably not a lot of people, but if you are, welcome to the stream. Oh, I'll put a little announcement in the Discord server so people know.
Someone copy the link and send it to the Discord server.
That's a smart idea. We are live with a heart emoji.
Okay, cool. I can watch it, so we're good to go. It's running.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with introductions while I'm sending this announcement up. Hello, my name is Gwen. I'm the founder of the Raggedy Ann Revival Effort. It's my baby. This project has given me so much awesome stuff throughout the years, and it's almost our 3-year anniversary in February, so I'm excited. This live stream is really, really hype. So thank you guys for showing up.
All right, I'll go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Gray. I am a recently appointed organizer, and I've been involved since 2021. I'm so glad you guys are here to make it out today. We have some exciting things to go over, and yeah, that's it. That's me.
Hi, Mac. I'm also an organizer. I have also been here since 2021, and we have some fun things planned for today, so hope you stick around.
Hi, I'm Ronnie. I am also an organizer, and I'm the one who's running the stream, kind of. I'm the one who has OBS. I don't know what else to say. I hope you have a good time. We have lots of fun things and guests planned, so.
Yeah. I'm Brooklyn, one of the organizers, and helps organize the stream and collect all of your questions and all of that. And then Alex.
Oh, yo. Hey, I'm Alex. I'm a friend of the stream and the community. I'm going to be moderating and mediating today so that nobody, rips each other's throats out.
Because we will.
Exactly. Yeah. So, good stream. Let's go.
Woohoo!
So, in like soonish, Scott Schaefer will be joining us, who played
half an hour.
Yeah, half an hour. That's right. He played Andy in both the SEPA and Moscow and Broadway, so that'll be really fun to talk to him. But in the meantime, we got all of us here, and we got questions to be answered and such.
Yeah. Yes. So first, I've planned out just some general topics that I wanted to cover that people have asked us a lot about the plans for the revival effort and our goals for the future and stuff like that, just to have it all out, have it all in one place. So I'm going to open those.
Unprepared.
I'm joking. Would you like me to start reading those off?
Yeah, if you want. Because those are the numbered ones.
Yeah. So. Oh, wait, the numbered ones. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So number 1, how are the pieces of media we have now uncovered? How are the pieces of media we have now uncovered? Question mark. Okay.
I'm assuming that means how do we find them?
How did we find what we have? Sorry, no one edited my stuff. No one looked over my stuff before this point.
I'll mentally edit going forward. I should read these.
So I'll go first because I remember finding both the video and getting our first script. So in like when I first started, this was maybe a week or two in, I had a friend who actually had the script already from a New York library and sent it on forward to me. And because I knew which library it came from, I was able to track down other materials from the show. There was a few photos and there was another version of the script. And then like a year down the line when we found the video, that was actually in, I believe it was the Lincoln Center, New York Public Library for, what was it? It was one of the arts departments. And it was under
the New York Archive. It wasn't the public library from what I remember.
It's New York State Archive.
Yeah, it was the State Archive.
It was under the Women in Dance section. So I really lucked out when I stumbled across it. And I don't believe this is true, but I ran with it because I saw it on the site. It said there were no copyright restrictions. So I was like, well, If it says that, it's going on YouTube, and it did. So
yeah, and we haven't had anyone mad at us.
Yeah, we've had no problems. So
yeah,
and that's
so
an
it
archival recording, the one that's up on YouTube, not a bootleg.
Yeah.
In terms of bootlegs, there are still, hopefully, we believe, some out there. We know that there's definitely one out there that's audio only, but it's really beautiful, crisp. So we're hoping, we don't need those because we already have a Broadway audio, but it would be nice. And then we are hoping someday maybe we could get a glimpse at a Moscow recording, which we do believe there is one. So we're still looking for those things, but we have little ideas of where they could be. And in the meantime, we found a lot of other cool stuff.
Yes.
Those are the things I remember most, but I know there's more. So
well, there's one that's not that interesting, and that's how we have so many different versions of the script. And genuinely, that was just given to us by one of our members. I don't know if they want to be named, and I don't know if they're here watching, but that was given to us by one of the members of the Discord server who had contacted Harvard and gotten lots and lots of materials from their archives. That was donated by William Gibson, or maybe his widow.
It was his wife, we believe.
His wife donated all of these materials, and that included like 8 different versions of the script, and as well as a personal journal of his that that chronicled like the making of the show, and some like advertising materials. Lots of really interesting stuff was in that. Were in those files. So thank you to that member. Thank you. Those were really helpful.
Yeah, there's a lot of news clippings and like the Moscow playbill and some Moscow magazines as well in that one. And I wanted to mention about the footage that we found. How we got it is we had to pay for them to digitize it.
Yeah.
So we raised, I forget how much, it was at least like 200.
Yeah,
$300.
It was a lot. Whatever it was.
Was a lot. It was a lot.
that we raised, and we paid for them to digitize it, and they sent it as a physical thumb drive in the mail to one of the members.
Yes.
So that they could upload it. And actually, when we first heard about it, we were told that it was just Act 1.
But they were wrong.
And it wasn't until we received the actual thing that we realized in the mail that we realized it was both acts.
Yes.
And that it was the whole thing.
Yes.
Which was really exciting.
That was a really great surprise.
Yeah. We've also gotten a lot of cool performance clips through like news archives who archive like TV news, which aren't publicly available, but if you're in the server and you have access to our archives, you can request to see those. We also have a lot of cool photos. Most of those are from the Kennedy Center. The Kennedy Center obviously is where they did their run in DC before transferring to Broadway. And they have a lot of cool materials. And so, thank you, Kennedy Center, because we got a lot of cool photos from them. And there's always more to be found, and there is more that we know. We have ideas of where they could be. There's costumes up at Ohio State University, and hopefully in the near future, I'm heading up there to snag some pictures of those. So.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, publicity for us is really important because sometimes we get people who aren't a part of like the Discord server, or they're not super aware of us, but they contact us saying, "Hey, I know something about this," or "Hey, I have something that relates to what you're looking for," and I think
camel.
that is so awesome. Well, so
the camel.
Well, he didn't contact us; we contacted him.
Right, but
I'm
still
done talking about like
he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't know much about the show besides that he had the puppet, which is interesting and cool. And so now we have a little deal where if we if we get the show set up in a good theater, we can ship the camel over and put him on display in the lobby. So that'll be fun.
I hope so.
Okay.
But what I'm referring to is I've had people contact me on Twitter. I run the official Twitter account for the Revival Effort. But I've had people contact me on Twitter saying, "Hey, I have these news clips about the Broadway run," or "Hey, this actor was my drama teacher,"
Yeah.
have a photo or something. Like it's really cool. And without like the publicity that we get, and just people talking about us, that wouldn't have ever happened.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
All right. I think
All right.
Alex on the list, I'm going to skip down to
Yeah.
6 because I think that's more important for the
On the
moment.
6. Okay. So, what is the history of your efforts looking for rights?
All
When
right.
did we?
Gwen.
This is my time to shine. So, my lovely mother is a copyright
Yo.
lawyer, and she's a really good one at that. And so we knew that the Gibson estate had royalties from The Miracle Worker because William Gibson also wrote The Miracle Worker. And The Miracle Worker as a play is licensable through Concord Theatricals. I contacted Concord Theatricals personally, and they said they weren't able to give me any contact information, and it was against their policy. Add a fancy lawyer signature to that, and all of a sudden they give you so much info, and we were directly connected to the Gibson estate. Those first few emails were really kind of slow progress, but interesting nonetheless, because we learned about sort of the legal status of Raggedy Ann and the music, because it didn't play long enough on Broadway for them to be combined into one licensable
one
script.
copyright.
Yes, one copyright. So we learned about the legal status of that, and people have tried apparently to do the same thing in the past, but in over like 30 something years, we were the first to make successful contact with the estate in regards to this specific show, which is awesome. So we had phone calls and discussions mostly about what we want to do with the show in the future. And eventually we actually got the Gibson's sons interested and enthusiastic about the project, and they really love that we were young people, and they love what we're trying to do. And so we have made contact with Nick Raposo, the Raposo estate, for the music, and now the Gibson and Raposo estate, who actually knew each other previously, are connected and working together on this. And in recent months, we've made a lot of progress. We're almost at the point where we can draft a draft agreement in terms of what we're going to do with potential workshopping rights or stuff like that. But personally, no promises, but personally, I'm really, really optimistic about where we're at right now. And I do see this being on stage in a few years. So I'm really enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the estates love what we're doing, which makes me so happy. So I'm happy about that.
Okay. So on to the next question. Will you be making any money?
This is one that someone asked me, like, when I was first talking about the live stream happening and it didn't end up properly making it in, is that if we will be making money from a production. And the answer is hopefully, but probably not much.
Not a lot. Not a lot. We hope that once it's licensable to other community theaters and schools and stuff like that, we'll be able to have some sort of royalties. If we don't, honestly, I don't mind, because I just want the show to be out there. I think it's a good show that deserves to be performed again. But it would be nice. It would be nice.
Someone in the chat asked, how do you get the money to play the musical? How will we get the funds to create our own production?
So number one, fundraising is going to be a really big thing. But second of all, I'm lucky enough to live in a city that really supports upcoming artists and the arts. And because of where I am, like geographically, I'm in Cincinnati, and I'm specifically really close to downtown Cincinnati. They really often give amazing grants for upcoming shows. And I'm hoping to partner with a local theater who's already, really into children's theater that like changes the norm. And they also are like, they're loaded. And I have, because of my wonderful family who has connections, God knows where, all the time. I'm in good standing with them and other people in the theater industry. So you know, and we have a few people who are industry professionals who are really interested in the project, and so that'll help us a lot as well.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Scott is sitting in the waiting room and
Scott.
My man.
And like the answer to that is also the same way any other show gets the money to be produced. Like finding producers, finding sponsors, finding grants. The same way any normal show happens.
Yep.
I'm going
it's a long process.
Well,
okay.
Don't let him in.
Don't let him in. We haven't told you yet.
He's here 15 minutes early. Don't let him in.
It's his fault. He can wait a few minutes.
This is for Scott. If you ever watch this back, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
You can wait a few minutes until we're ready.
We can let him in like 5 minutes early.
Yeah. Like
we have a couple more important questions to get through, and then we'll see where we stand.
Yes.
Right. So, what do you plan on doing once you have workshop rights?
Workshops.
Workshops. This is my favorite question, because when we workshop, that doesn't mean we're doing it in one location. That means basically, if you have good standing with a university educational setting or a theater, you know, a theater company, you and obviously you are going through us, our company, the Raggedy Ann Revival Effort LLC, Rare Theatricals LLC, that's the name of it. If you go through us and you are in good standing with an educational theater, probably university, or you know, a theater company, then you're able to produce your own workshop. And that can be we prefer if it's small scale while we're trying to figure out things in terms of music and scripts. But that can kind of be, you can kind of do whatever you want with workshops, which is the great thing about it. I know for a fact that I'm doing one at Ohio University, and I hope to see some in Portland, where Brooklyn is, and I hope to see some in other places, because I love seeing how different people interpret the show. So
yeah, because if it depends for me on how the contract ends up working. If it's only in educational settings, then it might be a little bit more difficult for me to pull it together. But if it's not, then yeah, I'm going to try to do like a basic read through, sing through sort of deal. But yeah, so hopefully once we get that, we'll be able to do a few small ones. And again, if someone works in a theater company and would like to put on a small workshop through us, then that can happen. And like that's just those, of course, like they'll all be free. If
no,
public,
you can't generate. Yeah, you cannot generate revenue from these. You're not.
Yeah, yeah. If they're even public at all, then they're free, and they're just for people to get an idea, because workshops are important.
Bones.
Yeah, pretty bare bones, just to get an idea, just for us to finish up our work revising the script and our work revising the music and stuff like that, and to be able to hear it.
Okay.
Someone else? Okay.
So what do we have next? What do you plan on doing once you get the proper rights?
Okay. If anyone else wants to speak, jump in, because I know I've kind of been yapping. But
you're the one who knows everything about that.
Okay.
You're the one who manages the rights situation.
Yeah.
So our ultimate goal is to be able to put on one major production through Rare Theatricals. That is preferably in a major city like Cincinnati, because that's where we'll get our funding and our audience. And then once that production is done, which it'll be a full-scale production, not anything like a workshop, closer to a SEPA, I would say. Once that production's done, then we're hoping if we get the opportunity to transfer it somewhere else, we'd love to. But if not, we just want it to be licensable to schools, regional and community theaters, like, you know, other shows that a high school would do, or a theater near you. Because at this moment in time, it's not, nobody can do it. No one's legally allowed to do it. So we're hoping to make those rights publicly available.
Yes. That is the main thing. Like we want to put on a show for ourselves, or like a flagship show, essentially, to get it started, to get the ball rolling. But it is mainly just as something to get it started again, as something to see the results of our efforts. But the main goal, kind of like with Carrie in the end, like they did a show, but that show itself wasn't huge. But now Carrie is a fairly popular musical for high schools to do. So it was a situation like that where, because when we produce a show, it's going to be, it's going to be a professional show. It's going to be like us and then a bunch of theater professionals doing it. And we'll take from the community as much as we can and be part of the community as much as we can. But in the end, it becomes a professional endeavor and not as much of a community event as we wish it could be. So in that case, afterwards, then it's open to anyone, and anyone can try to put on their own show legally
paid for, the whole shebang, the way you would through Concord or MTI or any of that.
That's our main goal, is to make the show licensable. Our main goal is not to make it to Broadway.
No. And as much as I love this show, it's not a show that's not a Broadway show. It's a great show, just not one that
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to mention that. Please make that a note, the difference between trying to make it to Broadway again versus what we actually want.
Yes.
Yeah. We do not, if someone says, hey, we like your show, do you want to go off Broadway? We'll be like, sure. And if someone says, we like your show, we want to go on Broadway, we'll be like, probably not.
Maybe not. We know how that worked out the first time, unless our odds look good. And but that's a rare.
I think our odds are better off Broadway.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And no show that's not on Broadway is any less good or valid as one that is.
Right.
I got to put that out there too, because a lot of people think Broadway is the ultimate goal, and it's really not. You can have a show that's better than a Broadway show that's not on Broadway.
We don't need to win any Tonys here.
No. Right. That's not our goal. We just want to be good. We just want to have fun.
All right. So will there be an album or a pro shot?
We hope so. Pro shot, we're not sure of the legal standing of that, but album, absolutely. We would really love to do a concept and a cast album to get the music out there again, because you can't listen to it on anything besides YouTube, which is really inconvenient for people who like to stream their musicals and try to listen to new musicals, and you got to search for it. So we would love to get the music out there.
And what is available right now is not super high quality.
No. And it's not finalized either. I don't think there's a professional recording ever of the music that's finalized. So we'd love to do one of that.
Yeah. And it would probably be, I'm a fan of either soundboard recordings or everyone stands on stage with mics recordings.
I like those.
And that would be so
like
much easier.
And like how they used to do it.
Yeah.
And it'll sound great.
So we're hoping to do like a nice professional recording, but not necessarily like a super high quality, like fancy studio recording. Just like it's gonna sound nice. We're gonna get everyone. We're gonna, the cast of whatever show we do, hopefully, and just do a full sing through of the show and make it all nice. Because getting a actual professional recording out there is what keeps the show going. It's what helps people discover it. And it's what helps people listen to it to see if they want to do it as a production, stuff like that. Pro shot, a lot more, again, a lot more difficult.
Right? And it depends on the legality of it, which is already complicated enough as it is. So
it's not a no.
And it's also expensive, and equity has to be involved, and we don't know anything about that. So equity, if you don't know, is a big actors union, and it's very complicated.
Yeah.
Which is why the Raggedy Ann archival recording that we have up on YouTube wasn't supposed to be released. But it said it was on the website, so I listened to the website. Can't blame
Yes. Let's see.
All right.
I think we've mostly we ended up covering things as we talked. For the most part. I think there's just one last thing that I want to touch on a little bit, which is that the Arcola performance showcase. Hopefully.
Yeah. So someone else talk about this.
Okay. So the Arcola, Illinois Raggedy Ann Rally is one of the biggest Raggedy Ann events that's happening right now. And it happens every year in June. I think it's June 7th and 8th this year.
It is.
And you guys started going in 2022. And then we were more officially invited in 2023 by the organizers of the rally to show up and to talk a little bit about what we do and about our plans. And Kathy Ellis, the organizer of the Raggedy Ann Rally, loves us.
She loves it.
And so she invited us this coming year to do a small song showcase at the next Raggedy Ann Rally, where we, just get a pianist and get a space and sing a handful of songs from the show. We're still working on that. Plans are still in development. But hopefully that's something that we're able to do, and in that case, record it and do a little.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. And if that comes to fruition, that is sort of like a music workshop. So if you want to see like one of the first performances of the Raggedy Ann Revival, that would be a great place to show up to. It's always a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, and that won't be the whole thing. It's going to be like 8 or 9 songs, like the ones that we can perform with only 4 people or so. But hopefully that'll go forward well, and we can do that, and we can get that set up, because I'm excited about that. But yeah, if you think you'll be able to come to the Raggedy Ann Rally in Arcola, Illinois, you should. And if you're in the server, we're around, and we were planning our trip as well, and so we can always help people plan if they're not sure about the schedule and stuff. But the older Raggedy Ann collectors community loves having new people. They love seeing new people there. Every year that we go, they always say how much they love having us there, and how much they love having young people joining the community and new faces joining the community. And it's great, and it's a lot of fun. So that's part of it, as well as just getting the rest of the Raggedy Ann community aware of the musical. And they're definitely our big supporters in getting it out there, and the fact that Raggedy Ann as a franchise is gaining popularity again, is gaining fandom again, is a big deal to them. So hopefully.
Okay, now
is Scott still waiting?
Yes, he is.
Okay,
I think we could let him in.
I think we could let him in. Sorry for keeping you out. Open the floodgates. There we go.
Okay.
There we are.
He drifted away.
Oh no.
We sent him into orbit.
Yo, we got a nice shot at the end there. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah,
that was so sweet. So now we have a 15-minute intermission of sorts. We're just generally gonna chat about stuff. I need to grab more water, so I'll be right back.
Me too.
That's a good idea.
We'll trade off. You go grab water, then I go grab water.
And then
I'll go grab water. I'll go grab water first.
I'm reading the chat right now, so I'm not paying attention.
Go ahead.
Next up, that's what I was going to say. Next up, in 15 minutes, we have Pamela Sousa, who played Bat in Asipa, so in the footage that we have. So stay tuned. That's coming up soon. But until then, we're just going to sort of chat and hang out. And I'm gonna get water.
Yay! Right. The heat just turned on, and I'm literally sitting right underneath the heat vent, so I have hot air blowing on me.
I'm in front of a really hot window, but we're hanging on.
Anyway, I saw someone ask in the chat like half an hour ago about whether we are selling costumes based on the characters, and we are not selling costumes, but Mac makes costumes. You can commission Mac to make a costume for you based on any of the toy characters, any of the dolls in the show. I don't know what other costumes you do, but I know you do the dolls.
Yeah, if you came here from my TikTok, that's where I got mine. And she's such a good, like, she's and she's such an amazing, and Grace. So like pretty much all of us besides Brooklyn. She's such an amazing artist. Like literally, I am astounded every time I see her work. And mine fits me like a glove, and it's so comfy, and I can wear it in the cold or the warm or whatever.
Yes.
So if you want a costume of one of the dolls, that is the place to go. Faux show, or just a doll, or anything.
Yeah.
We're plugging her business right now.
Because
We
someone
got you,
asked in
Mac.
the chat.
Shameless plug. Yeah, you're right. Also a shameless plug.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at my email because Pamela just joined and then she left.
Well, she was
Well,
probably just
we
making
still-
sure that it worked.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
time. And if she's late or there's another issue, we can figure it out. We got
Oh
time.
yeah, it's not a big
I'm back if anyone else wants to run to grab water.
Me. Be right back. I'm muting myself in the meantime.
Yes, everyone is saying support Mac.
100%. I will go grab this costume right now and show you how good quality it is. I wear it so often and
I'll
I
grab
do so
mine.
many silly things in this costume and it's holding together so well.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah, we're ridiculous.
Go watch my TikToks, please.
yeah. Watch Gray's TikToks at what's your username? At Ashen Lion
Yeah,
on TikTok.
the same thing. Every handle I have is the same.
And we run around our cola in them.
Yes, that
So-
too. Oh my gosh.
It's so fun. Someone said yes, please show us the costume.
Okay, I will do that. Let me turn my video off really quick.
I have a question from the chat once Gwen comes back, but I don't want to ask without Gwen here.
Okay, sounds good. I will be leaving for 2 seconds when Gwen comes back because I need water.
Okay.
I am so sweaty, y'all. I'm back.
Okay.
I need to take my sweater off.
My AirPods worked all the way downstairs. I'm astounded. Good work.
Okay, I have a question from the chat. Although I guess maybe I'll wait until Ronnie and Gray come back, and once we're done talking about
Whatever. Okay.
the costumes and stuff.
I'm gonna mute myself because I'm gonna eat. I made homemade cookies just for this event. Just kidding. I made them for fun. But I'm muting myself so I can grab a little snacky.
I'm looking through my emails because I think I forgot to send Pamela the detailed schedule thing.
Well, I thought you already did because you had to ask her if it worked, and she said yes, it does. So you did send it to her.
Okay.
Grace back.
I'm back. I grabbed the I only have one of Max. Here we go. In a second. Got them all separated, all taken care of,
Show and tell.
ironed and all that good stuff. Alright, they're not.
I'm pretty sure Pamela thought she was scheduled for 1.
No.
Well,
she joined and left right away. She was just checking to make sure it worked.
If she knew it was scheduled for 1, she would have stayed.
Yeah.
If she thought it was scheduled for 1, she would have stayed to see. If we don't see her at 1:15, then you can email her.
Yes.
But we don't know yet.
Yeah.
So chill.
Don't. We're all good. It's gonna be all right. Things like this tend to happen. So when things like this happen, but they're not a red alarm, then we all get scared because we have a history of some mishaps in our Zooms. But it'll be
it's
okay.
fine.
I trust that this situation,
We'll figure it out.
Zoom fate will be in our favor.
Hey guys in the chat, by the way, please don't spam questions.
Yeah, send them once, we'll see them. I screenshot them and I save them. You don't need to spam them. People asking how much they cost, that is specific to when you commission them. But as far as anywhere you can contact Mac. So server, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Etsy, anywhere you can find Mac, you can commission her.
Yes.
So
I wanted to show this off really quick. Hold on a second. The little snaps. You see this? This is this is the waist, the shirt, right? Here's a little paper flower. Look at this. This is so cute. Look at this. Bam.
Snazzy.
But I really like the wigs. I have 2 Andy wigs. Hold on. This was the first one. And I have abused this so much. And it's held together so well. I mean, really, look at this. Absolute craftsmanship. And the other wig is a bit longer yarn, which is and also a bigger size for my head. It's really great stuff. So please, like, seriously, consider getting a doll costume for Mac. I mean, really.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm running to get some water too, actually. Is everyone back?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Stay
Awesome.
hydrated.
Stay hydrated. I have a question from the chat, which is, do we hope to bring the show to other countries afterwards?
It is a hope. It is not a thing that we are going to do. It is if we have the opportunity, we would love to.
Yeah. And it's nothing that we can do on our own because
Yes.
all of us are from the USA and mostly only speak English, I think. So
Yes.
if someone else asks to work with us on that, we'd love to do that. But copyright as it is, or at least copyright law, only works for the United States, especially with this show because of the way it is. And so to get that to happen for other countries is a long and a hard process. And if we get the opportunity, we would love to. We'd love to go all in. But we would need someone else. We need a third party to help us with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we would love to make. Sorry, I thought someone was coming down the stairs. We would love to have an official like Russian translation because the show is actually still very popular in Russia, being performed by community theaters and schools. Um, and we would love for them to be able to perform it legally
And accurately with the
with the
real
songs.
music. Yeah.
With the songs.
Because they don't have the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and the
so
updated script. Because I feel like, yeah.
So being able to get a Russian version and, you know, maybe do our own show, but more likely just be able to help with the show and license it in Russia.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to, it's like you don't have to worry as much about licensing if you just want to do one.
Right.
But the hope would be to make it available in Russia because they're still doing the show and they're still doing the show without the songs. So, you know, we've that's the main country and language that we would love to get it translated to, and we'd love to get it established over there. But anything else?
The other reason that we feel this way is because Raggedy Ann is like a really American franchise.
It is.
A lot of people besides maybe Japan, some of Canada, and obviously Russia through the show, don't know who she is at all, have no context, which in some regards works in the show's favor, and in other regards, why would you want to do a show about Raggedy Ann if you don't know who that is?
Right.
But at least for Russia, it's worked really well, and they've created some beautiful shows because of that. But we just don't know who would pick it up, you know, without the context of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. With the original run, did they have to make any accommodations for the Russian market? And would you guys have to do that as well? Or is it kind of just as is?
So from what we know, the original Moscow production that had the American company, the only changes that they made was that they added in some Russian words. It was a lot of
Gingham and
Raggedy
Yarn
Ann.
was in
Yeah.
Russian.
So
Ragdolly was in
they
Russian.
translated a few of the songs completely into Russian. I think Gingham and Yarn and Ragdolly are the ones that are confirmed, but there were probably other ones we don't know. And some characters would say certain lines in Russian, but it was mostly English. I know Ivy, who played Raggedy Ann, she was the one who spoke the most Russian. in the show. She had to learn it for the show.
Wow.
And she had a lot of little asides where one character would say something in English and then she would say the same thing in Russian as an aside. But from
And
what we
also-
know, that's the only
yeah.
thing that was changed about the show.
And a lot of the audience were like more elite,
Yes.
at least in status, which means that they had some English education.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they before each act they would do a summary.
Oh,
They had
yes.
someone come out and they would give a summary of the act in Russian.
Yes. But there is a Russian script that is completely in Russian, and that's how there are so many productions.
You can find it on Wattpad.
You
fun
can find it on
fact.
Wattpad. But that is also extremely accurate to the English script. I don't think
It's
anything's
like
really
so
changed.
faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't know which version of the script is faithful to, but it's not
85.
the later. Yeah.
It's 85 with some updates, but it's closest to the 85 one. And yeah, so that Russian script wasn't performed by the American actors. That Russian script was translated so that the show could be licensed in Russia afterwards.
And it never was.
And
Nothing
it never
ever came of
was,
that.
and the script just made its way out into the world.
And
Okay.
I remember
Okay.
reading in early 2021 when we first started this. This was on like a message board somewhere, so this could be totally false. But I remember that the script was kept by a stagehand. I read that somewhere. It could be false.
Cool.
So I don't know if that's true. I've never been able to find it again, but I remember I read and I went, wow, that's a fun fact I can tell my friends. And then I couldn't find it ever again. So that could be a total lie, but it could also be how the script survived in Russia. We don't know.
Right on.
Okay, since we only have a minute, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. We won't do
Fine.
anything until you come back.
Cool.
She
Hey,
is
guys.
here.
She's in the waiting room?
She is not here.
Oh, she's not here. That's
No.
fine. That's fine. She
Oh,
still has
why
a
is my-
couple minutes. Because we
camera
got two
bugging?
people who are gone.
And if
Oh,
she,
Gray's
if
back.
she's,
With the dog!
oh,
Yo.
hi, buddy.
I had to grab her because if I didn't, she would cry really loud. So,
Okay.
she will behave.
She's our special guest.
Yay. Yeah, she's our guest until Pamela gets here. This is our guest of honor.
Yes.
This
I'm
is
gonna
our
take
place.
I'm gonna take a peek at the chat.
It's 12:15.
Yes.
It's all right.
That's okay.
She's, yeah. Give her some
Not a
time.
big
My
deal.
computer personally is like 5 minutes behind at all times, so don't blame her.
Sure,
And
I
if-
did give her the detailed schedule. I think I forgot. I think I gave her the hesitant one that said 1 p.m. to.
Well, you can email her right now.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, just confirming that you're checking in with us at 1:15. And if you still need time to set up, just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she doesn't show up in like the next 5 minutes, that's all right.
Mhm.
We can fill time. We're smart. We got buffer time for a reason, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We got it figured out.
We're still
We're
waiting
gonna-
for Pam, but that's okay. Mac is emailing her.
Cool. That's fine.
Mhm.
I'm paying attention, I promise. I'm just reading the chat.
Also, Gray has
Yeah.
a dog.
Yeah, Gray does have a dog. Do any of you guys have a Raggedy Ann stool? I don't even know what that is, brother.
What?
A Raggedy Ann stool?
I don't
Don't
know.
know.
I don't have
Don't know
one.
what that is. I definitely don't have
Mm,
one because if I did, it would.
Raggedy Ann trash can in
I
a
do.
few antique stores.
I have a Raggedy Ann trash can.
For your Raggedy Ann trash.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not here with
But-
me, but I have one.
I just looked the stool thing up and they're kind of creepy.
I have
They are.
an
So-
Andy mug.
A mug?
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it,
think we're
it's,
allowed
and,
to
it,
talk
and it
about
has
that.
and it has
That
Andy
one's
on
fine.
it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
That's a mug with Andy on it. That's
All
allowed.
right.
That's
all
not
It's an
the
Andy mug.
Andy mug, but we're not talking about the Andy
Hey.
mug.
I have.
The Andy mug. I don't know what the Andy mug is.
Hey,
We're
we're
not
not
gonna
allowed to talk about
about
that.
it.
Not okay. Okay.
You guys,
You
look at my
can't
cool Andy
Stoke
mug
my
though.
intrigue. Okay.
Oh, I thought she joined. Pamela joined, and I was about to be like, I don't
Mac
need to
turned
explain
her
what's
turned
happening.
her camera off.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess in the meantime, does anyone have anything else they want me to yap about? I'm looking at the chat. Looking at the chat as we speak.
I'm looking at questions. I do have topics about script changes and stuff, but I don't want to get into them if we don't know how much time we're
Yeah, how
going
much
to
time we
have,
have left.
essentially.
Yeah, if there's anything y'all want me to briefly yap about, let me know.
Also, Mac, if you don't get a hold of Pamela, I do have her number.
I don't know where Mac is. That's all right.
Ow.
What?
What?
You tell me that now as I'm frantically attempting to plug an image into an email.
You don't have to put an image in there. Just say that that 1:15 was her time. You don't have to put an image in there.
Okay.
You don't have to put the whole image.
Any favorite lines from the OG script? My favorite line from the original script is, I started that with so much confidence and then immediately forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, you took.
My
you
favorite
go first.
line is "This cloud has a hole in it."
Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
It's what the camel says. It's a great line.
I gotta say, I guess my favorite is just I'm an underprivileged boy, frustrated by lack of opportunities to do good.
That's
Me
a good
too.
line.
The me too adds a lot.
Me too.
Me too.
Someone got their Furby on the stream. Crazy.
What?
Where is my camera?
It's on.
It's on.
I can't see myself.
I don't know how to help you with that.
Just trust. You're on. Brooke, do you have a favorite line?
I'm looking for when I was sent Pamela's number. So give me a second.
No problem.
What's something you definitely know will be in the show? Teddy. Teddy. I love Teddy.
We're gonna fight so
I
hard.
just feel like we did such a good job collectively on that character.
Yes.
And I'm just so happy with how they turned out. Like they flow so naturally in the script. They fit so well with the rest of the cast of characters, and they're so cute, and like all the dialogue is really natural and Gibson-y, and I don't know, I just feel like we did such a good job on that, and I love them so much.
Labor
I'm
of
so
love.
happy.
This character.
Yes, and I'm so happy that they work.
Michelin watching. Everyone say hi to Michelin.
Hi, Michelin. Thank you for watching.
Oh my gosh, hello Michelin. We're so excited to talk to you later.
Yes.
This will be fun. I haven't talked to you yet, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, I don't see Pamela's number. I had it. Maybe it's in my...
Mac, did you send the email?
Yes, I sent the email.
Good.
I'm looking in the chat for Michelin.
Yeah, I don't know. I had it written down, I assumed, but I don't know. We could also just have Michelin in now and swap their times, but I think that would be confusing.
That would be confusing. We can wait. We sent her an email, or Mac sent her an email.
I think we should wait.
We should wait.
I think we should
try to stick to the schedule.
It'll work out, and we have buffer time built in. So.
Oh yeah.
So in the meantime, we could definitely get back on to that those questions about the scripts, because I think we have the time. And if we're cut off, then that's fine. We can just come back to it later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's very fair. Yeah, someone mentioned Teddy. I wasn't looking.
We were talking about Teddy.
We were talking about Teddy. We love Teddy. Teddy is a good addition. Teddy rounds out the characters and is written naturally and sounds like Gibson wrote the character, which makes me proud of our mad skills.
Teddy is, I mean, again, I wasn't listening. I was looking for them. Teddy's the replacement for Panda.
Yeah,
here,
I was going to say that eventually. I just didn't have a chance.
Question: why the removal of the ant sandwiches line during Something in the Air?
So it's
Tell me.
because we that's something really, really specific, and you would only know that if you read our script.
Okay.
So
thank you for that specific question.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you
welcome.
for reading our script.
it's
I
because
am perfect for this.
it's because we reverted back to the older version where they picnic after Something in the Air. In later versions of the show, they picnic in the middle of Something in the Air, and that's when the ant sandwiches line was added, and we reverted back.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
that's the
And
answer.
also Beans is funnier.
Also,
so.
Beans is funnier.
Absolutely.
And we have merch for that.
Well,
Shameless
there you
plug.
go, chat.
I will say I do like the ant sandwiches line. It's very cute.
It is cute. It is pretty cute.
You gotta make sacrifices.
Mm-hmm. You do gotta make sacrifices, and unfortunately, I'm sure we will make
ant sandwiches.
Right. I'm sure there will be more sacrifices made during workshops, but right now I feel like we're at a good place in our script. I'm happy about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked, what is Teddy's personality like? Teddy
British
is well, we will see about that. But Teddy is like a little bookworm a scholar who loves to read and loves to memorize quotes and has a quote for every occasion.
That's Teddy. The glasses and the finger. That's Teddy.
Someone asked if we're adding or cutting any songs. And if we're adding any songs from the 77 film.
Yes. And yeah, you go.
Yes. We hope we don't know if this will happen, but we hope to add No Girl's Toy and Candy Hearts into the show. We aren't cutting any songs other than
Make Believe.
Well, we're not cutting Make Believe. We have
no, just one of the reprises.
Them. We just are using Mexico instead of the other one. But none of the songs have been cut.
Nope.
A couple have been replaced. The Light reprise has been replaced by a Carry On reprise.
Because Carry On reprise is better.
Which
we've added in a couple more reprises of songs, like Carry On reprise at the end, and Somewhere reprise that the witch sings. But none of this is like concrete because we have not gotten it approved yet.
Which is why we're doing workshops.
Yes.
Which is the whole reason we're doing workshops. And the good news, at least in terms of the 1977 music, is that the copyright for that music and the musical music was combined into one.
Oh,
so
cool.
we can use it.
I did not know that.
I didn't either until literally yesterday. We were talking about it.
That's awesome.
If I recall correctly and understand what that meant. We might actually physically have to go to Washington, D.C. to confirm that because the way the legal system works is annoying. But from my understanding, and the Raposo estate's understanding, I believe that's the case. So that's cool. Which means hopefully we shouldn't run into too many issues. And also, I mean, if we did run into issues in terms of specifically No Girl's Toy and Candy Hearts and Paper Flowers, it would probably mostly be pacing issues. Which are still issues, and I don't want to cut those songs, but we'll see what happens with that in workshops. I do think they're good additions as we have them right now.
Yeah.
You're absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And our Somewhere reprise.
Oh, I just got a notification. Someone's DMing me on Discord. I'm gonna turn that off so no one can see that because I don't want my DMs on the stream. So sorry. Sorry, Amelia. Sorry.
Our Somewhere reprise uses cut lyrics that were already written for Somewhere once upon a time, which makes it like really beautiful, I think. And our No Girl's Toy actually has cut lyrics that were written for the musical, I believe, right? or for the movie? For the musical.
They were written for the 83 production.
83 version, which is the circus draft.
Yes.
So they, yeah.
But those are real lyrics that we did not write.
We did not write. Chucklehead Bumblin is in there. We didn't write that. But we added that on. We didn't replace we replaced the repeated lyrics, so
yes.
You're getting something new. But we didn't write them. For the most part, we didn't write our own lyrics except for maybe Carry On Reprise.
No. Carry On Reprise is pretty entirely written lyrics. I like that it's like 3 or 4 words.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 words that we're again suggesting. And the same with Mexico. There's 1 or 2 lines that are suggested changes.
Yeah.
The biggest chunk of rewritten lyrics is Teddy's verse in the light, replacing Panda's.
Yes. But other than that, I think it's pretty much all original or cut lyrics.
Yeah, we try to use as much as we can of the original work. We start with the original work, and then we see what might need to be changed from that. But a majority of our work on the script has been shuffling around what was already there, because we want it to feel like it was like feel the same as the original show, and to stay true to Gibson's vision and Gibson's style of writing and all of that. So a lot of it is, even if it's unfamiliar words, those were words that are usually somewhere in one of the scripts at some point.
Yes, we did a lot of shuffling around. We took lines from other characters. We took lines from characters and gave them to other characters. Things like that. We shuffled around like specific, not scenes, but like within scenes, we shuffled around the order of events sometimes. It's just been a lot of just shuffling stuff around.
I think the most original words are if we had to drastically change a Panda to Teddy line, or for clarification's sake.
No, there's one scene that is entirely written by us.
Oh, well, yes, the sword fight.
The sword fight.
That's entirely written by us, but I believe we did a good job on that. So we did work. And when we do write lines into the show, even if it's just one line or like literally one word, we are all on it, and we are all meticulously approving and going through to make sure it sounds right and is true to the work, and where we do a ton of work to make sure it's as faithful to the original work as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do a ton. referencing Gibson's other work.
Oh, yes. And there's one joke that's originally written, and I'm proud of it.
No,
there's a couple actually.
There's a couple.
We put in a meme, but no one's gonna know it's a meme because it wasn't a popular one. We put in
one. We really showed some real adult restraint there when just one.
We put in there are quite a few jokes in there that we put in that are not original.
But they're good ones. So
I just way.
But for the most part, and even when we do write new pieces for it, new jokes, we want to write it in his style.
Right. There have been things that we put in the script that we removed because it didn't fit.
It didn't
sound right. It didn't.
Well,
I'm not talking about that.
I know.
Also that.
Yeah, that too.
Don't ask us to put Babette or any of the movie characters in because we're not going to do it. We've already
also we one we tried and it didn't work, and 2 legal reasons. We cannot.
Yeah, actually, the first draft of the musical script that I was working on. At that point, I was listening to the bootleg by ear, and writing it down. The first draft had every single movie character as ensemble.
I remember that.
And it was rough. And it was not needed, and it didn't aid the story at all, and it low-key made it worse. So we have tried. I get that question a lot. Are you going to add so-and-so from the movie, from the books? And as much as I would love to, no. Now, we do have the creative freedom to put whatever dolls we want in the doll hospital. So
That's where you're gonna get your.
That's where you're gonna get your
cameos.
cameos. Yep, that's where you're gonna get your cameos. And I do want to feature a lot of movie and book characters there, because it's a tribute. It's a tribute to my journey with the show. It's a tribute to the franchise as a whole. It's a tribute to the fandom. You know, I think it would be sweet. So I'm planning on doing that. If I end up producing some
Ultimately,
production.
that's where it's gonna work out best anyway. I mean, we want to see a lot of those beloved characters anyway. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
Pamela still hasn't responded to my email.
That's okay.
Okay, we're just gonna keep moving, and if we get a response from her, then we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we can fit her in somewhere.
But it's
not a big deal.
Easier to just keep moving than it is to disrupt our whole plan. So
yeah, not a big deal.
Yes.
We'll figure it out.
If she needs
Garrett's here.
Hello, Garrett. And if she also needs to reschedule, I'm sure we can do that too. There might not be all of us here, but we can definitely figure something out. You know.
Yeah, we have the setup now. We have the ability to stream now. I want to do it more and I want to invite people on more.
Yeah,
but yeah, hi Garrett.
Hello, Garrett.
Thinking about. I guess we do have more questions. Let me grab them.
Oh yeah, we've got more questions on our doc. We've got more questions in the chat. People love asking questions.
I'm going to the doc. I'm going to the doc.
Go to the doc.
Because those are ones that we have that we've had that are established.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna update anyone who hasn't gotten the update. As of now, we are in Pamela's slot, but she hasn't shown up, so we're either gonna reschedule or fit her in somewhere. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it out. And then at 2, Michelin Sisty will be joining us, and we're just gonna keep things moving. We're gonna keep it running, and whatever happens with Pamela, we'll figure something out. So so it'll be all right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Questions. I'll do them. Was there any point in the project where we wanted to give up?
Yes.
So, okay, for me personally, I never wanted to fully give up, but motivation did run pretty low at some points.
Yes.
But I was never like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. But I can't talk for anyone else here.
Yeah, I'll say I started it with no expectations, and then all of a sudden by the end of the night I had sky high expectations. And there have definitely been points, especially when my life has gotten busy, I've started school and stuff, when I have kind of lost the joy and magic. And then I interact with the community and I look at what we've done for more than 2 seconds and I'm like, wow, oh my God. And I do remember at one point I was feeling like I felt like our efforts were for nothing because we were making slow progress. We had reached out to the Gibson, I believe, at that point, but the progress was slow and nothing was really coming of it because the legality was so confusing. There were some events within the server and outside of it regarding the show that really, really made me lose some hope in what we could do both legally and logistically. And then we called, was it Gail? Gail Benedict?
Gail Benedict.
Gail Benedict, and she dropped some wisdom bombs on us about not only the show, but just like theater and performing and life. And all of a sudden I was like, my life has meaning, bro. And I had so much motivation and I looked at all that we'd done and I just was just astounded and at what we've accomplished in the past few years and what we're continuing to do. And at this point, it's like, we are a legitimate production company and we are doing the revival of the show. And it makes me so happy. It makes me so proud. Like, this is the work out of everything I've ever done in theater or at all that I'm so proud of. And I'm so proud of the community and I'm so proud of what we found, what we've done, what we're making, what we're gonna do. And the future is bright. And I am so happy that we've come this far.
Yeah, I'm in the same sort of boat there, that there was a point where there were things that were happening which started to make it look not necessarily that we couldn't, but like maybe it's not worth the effort, maybe it's not worth the stress, not necessarily that it couldn't happen, but maybe it's not worth it. And then like getting back involved and getting to talk to people. Gail is such a big supporter of reviving and changing the show.
Yes.
Like a lot of other people who we've talked to, like, oh, they have lovely memories of it and they enjoyed working on it. But Gail is still very active in theater and teaches theater. And when we talked to her about the show, she went, yeah, change everything, fix it, do it.
So Gail, playback, thank you.
Yes. And Gail's wonderful to talk to. And yeah, I think for me, when it does get to a point, it's mostly, is this worth the effort? You know, like this show that flopped, that not a lot of people,
anything,
right? Because it's like not a lot of people know about it, not a lot of people care about it. Is it, you know, is this piece of art necessarily worth preserving? It's the same kind of thing that I think comes into the lost media community a lot. Like, what is worth putting all this effort into when it's just some obscure piece of media that people forgot about? But like then I get reminded of what it's done for me and what it's done for a lot of people in the community, even just the community that has been built around it. And
absolutely.
So when I get to that point and I get in my head, like, why am I doing this? There are other things I could put my energy towards that would be seen as, you know, worthwhile more so than reviving this show that people were happy to forget. It's seeing how far we have come and just how much it has changed and how much it has done for people. It's like, oh right, it's worth it. Art is worth it.
I know. And I'm an ADHD driven girly, so when our progress slows down, which it's never halted, but when things are slowed down and people are busy, all of a sudden I'm like, we're not doing anything. And then I just have to look back and I'm like, hold on, we did all this. We're totally doing things. We're just busy. We're just dealing with our own lives. And then I don't know, I'm just so happy. And this show literally brought so much light into my life. I was really going through it. And I don't know, this show, like, something about this show is so healing. Like, it just pulled me right out of that. And
absolutely.
I'm so grateful that it did, and I'm so grateful that it continues to do that to this day. Like, this is my favorite thing that I have to work on when I'm able to, and I don't know, it makes me so happy all the time. I will never ever lose my love for Raggedy Ann. So
absolutely. It is such a big part of our lives. It's lasted so long. Longer than any of us thought it would, honestly. We're approaching our 3-year anniversary. So
we should do something big for that. We'll figure it out.
This is the big thing.
This is the big thing. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, our 3-year anniversary is going to be February 11th. So
awesome. Alex, I am highlighting questions.
Okay. Right on.
Guys, we're organized.
Yeah, no, you've been jumping around and I'm like, what am I doing?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you're completely good.
I'll let you know.
Highlighting, you say. Let me try to find that. Not seeing any highlights.
It's pretty far down.
Pretty far down.
I'm gonna finish up a thought that I forgot to finish up earlier. As I said, ADHD driven girly. One of the things that comes from when we have these like challenges, things that happen regarding the show that are hurdles, some of those things still impact us to this day, and especially in terms of like archiving and you know, public access and all that kind of thing. And it's a challenge and it's discouraging sometimes when we have a hurdle like that. But every time we've figured out a way to manage that, we have become so much like more organized and professional and mature about things. And I don't know. And also just this group, I don't know. I'm so grateful for y'all. Y'all keep me in check. And you guys are the reason, like, and the community is
Ronnie, look at chat.
What?
Vinny's in chat.
Hi, Vinny. We're so happy you're here. I'm so hyped you're here.
Thank you so much for joining, and I hope that you can be here for a little bit.
But like people like you guys and Vinny are the reason the show is still, and Garrett and all these people are the reason the show is able to live on, and it makes me so happy. And you guys are a great group of people, and you're so amazing whenever we have weird challenges, such as getting this live stream working. We figured it out and it's happening and it's great so far. I don't know, I'm always very proud of what we do, even when it's a little messy sometimes.
I'm gonna cry.
All right.
Yeah, I'm losing it. Wait.
Yeah. So.
Hi, Vinny.
Hi, Vinny.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm so glad you're alive. I mean, I
So,
knew
question
you
for
were.
y'all.
All right, go ahead.
When Ragdolly gets officially revived, would you guys want to make an appearance on stage? If so, would it be major roles or something like the Ragettes?
So that is a really, really great question.
That's
It's
the
gonna be
same
different
answer I
for
was
all
gonna
of
say.
us.
I would love it, but I feel like I can't at this point. I'm in so deep. I want to be on the production side. However, I'll like understudy baby or something. I don't need to be there, but if there's a chance, I'll go on. But not in the main cast. God no. I want to watch it every single night. I'm just so proud. I just want to sit there and watch it, and oh my god, I did that. We did that. I'm so excited. I don't know. I'm just so I want to watch it. I want to watch it every single night.
I don't think I'd be allowed to, but so I'm a performer first and foremost, more than anything else. And I would love to audition, but I don't think I'd be allowed to.
Everyone's allowed to audition.
But like, I don't think I'd be allowed to like be a main cast member.
Yeah. It's like I support you want it, like I wish you could be, but also from like a just as a standpoint of a playwright, a director, and a dramaturg, I think the show would be better with new people who can bring their own things to the show versus someone who's been so steeped in every part of the show for years, which is not.
Hey, but we got workshops and we got previews and we got and we have unbiased casting directors who will work with us and all sorts of stuff. So don't give up on your dreams.
maybe I won't be in our production, but I could be in a production, right?
That's what I'm saying. Understudy baby, because then I won't be in it probably. But if I am, I'll take the opportunity.
It's just like it's nothing on the performing ability of anyone here.
Yes.
Right.
Like especially
we're so steeped in the show. It's like
it affects the way that you perform. It affects the way that you come into the show, and having an idea of previous productions as well will always affect how you come into a show. But like workshops, sing in workshops, act in the workshops. I won't be on stage.
We're doing our performance hopefully in Arcola, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's my one chance to play Anne. Is our little showcase in Arcola.
We will have our chances to shine if we wish, and we can. Once we're into the workshop state, we can do whatever we want, pretty much with the show. Not whatever we want, but we can do a lot with this show. So if we wanna, we will. But at least for like a big production, we want to have new faces. We want to see what they'll do with the roles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I won't be on stage. Mac won't be on stage. We will be making the costumes. We will be helping with, like, directing. We will be doing all of that kind of thing. Regardless, if we can, as many of the organizers will be a part of the show in some way as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love to do something on the producing side. It would be a dream.
I want to dramaturg because I'm currently reading my way through William Gibson's work.
Yes.
And I'm hoping to read as many of his books and shows that I can. So my plan is to dramaturg in that sense and be the William Gibson expert.
Yay.
I have no desire to get on the stage at all, but the dolls and the doll costumes, because that's what I do.
Someone said, can I appoint myself as Gwen's #1 fan? No, my #1 fan is myself, but you can be #2. Thank you. Just kidding. My number one fan is probably my mom, so you can still be number 2.
I need to figure out how to turn notifications off.
I have another
Figured it
question
out.
from my notes here,
Yo.
which I'm excited about.
Are there any visual inspirations that aren't from the previous source material?
Yes.
Yes.
Russian Productions.
The Russian
Yeah.
productions.
That's
The
That's the big one. Gray, if you're saying things, we can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh,
I can
we
now.
can.
you can
Now.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just saying the Russian productions. Oh my gosh. How extensive that is. Go off, please.
So, as we mentioned earlier in the stream, the show, after it went to Russia, a script was left there, and they continue to perform it, not only in Russia, also in Ukraine and a couple other countries in that area.
There was one in Belarus that we found, just in the
Oh.
general
Poland.
area. There's one
Poland.
Really?
I think the one we thought was Ukrainian was actually Polish.
Really?
Or maybe I'm thinking of. Somebody
Doesn't
said
sound
that.
Right.
Yeah, somebody
Anyway,
said that. Whatever. Chris.
The Chris one, I'm pretty sure, is Ukrainian.
Yeah.
The Chris one is Ukraine, but
Okay,
it's this
I'm thinking of something else.
wealth of 30 plus years of shows that aren't based off of the original show because they don't have a cultural knowledge of Raggedy Ann. And so these productions are all over the place as far as set design and costume design, and even as far as directing and acting choices that have major changes to the characters just in the directing choices. And there are a few productions that just have amazing sets and amazing costumes, like as good, if not better than, at least more creative than, and more visually appealing, maybe, than the Asipa, some of the stuff there. And that's just, it's a whole world of inspiration to draw from, are all of these different versions of the show that we can watch and that we can find pictures of, because almost every time we find a new Russian production and we watch it through, we go, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
We'll consider that.
Yes. I'm going to say, because we got a comment that said, someone said, I would like to direct a production in Canada in the future. So I'm going to put some things out there about potential workshopping while we're at it. For the time being, the show can only be done in the United States because the United States copyright law is tough. And if you are seriously interested in putting on a workshop, contact all of us, not separately, for God's sakes, and not yet.
Yeah.
Only when we put something out that says you are able to. This is the future. This is in the future, not yet.
But just, we do have an email address, so.
Yes, we have an email address, and you should be in good standing with a university theater program or another theater company, and you should be 18 years older, and we'll get that all figured out, and we'll send out a big thing about it. This is very tentative, okay?
Yeah.
And if and we will put, do not contact us yet. We will put a thing out about it.
You can contact us about other things, but not that.
Yes, and you can ask questions about it, and we'll try to answer them as best we can, but nothing is concrete yet. And when we get that sorted out, we will put something out about it. But for the time being, no workshops. We will let you know. We promise.
And at the same time, people asking about, like, oh, when you do a production, where will it be and how will casting be announced? That's all years in the future, and you will know.
Yes.
Like, if you're connected to our social media, especially if you subscribe to our emails, you will know. We're not going to not tell people.
Yes.
And all of that is very up in the air still, as far as having a theater, having a production company that we're partnering with. All of that kind of thing is still years in the future that we have to figure out. And we don't even know.
Yeah.
And if you would like to help us think logistically, someone said, how can we in the community help with the production from afar? Best way is to either be a part of our Discord server or be in direct communication with us via email. We have channels in the Discord server that are by request only, but are mostly for thinking logistically for the future and of the revival. And this is doing the real work, like music cleanup and script revisions, and thinking about where we could potentially host or potentially market, what we could do in terms of advertising and publicity. And so these are like really planning or potential planning channels. And if you want to help out in terms of, you know, getting us connections to people or things like that, that is a great way to do so. I had another thing to say, I forgot.
And people ask a lot. I mean, that is the main thing. If there is a big call for people to do something, it will be through our server and through the email. But the main thing, we say this every time, and it's because it's true, is just talking to people about it.
Yes.
Because you talk to people, especially if you are doing theater, and you talk to people who are theater professionals, you know, even if you're in school and you talk to your theater teacher about it, you talk to the people who would have the ability to choose the show, and you just learn things. You learn things about what it means to be in theater. You learn things about what it would mean to do the show, and you come back and you tell us about it, and you just get more people to learn about the show, because in honesty, most people who follow us and who follow the project don't have any real, like, a ton of experience or like a ton of ability to do the professional side of things. But that's why you just get more people involved, because the more people who are involved, the more people who hear about it, the more opportunity to find those people who can really like help with the professional side of things as well. And also just donations when we need them.
Yes. A little introduction. Someone asked how to join the Discord server. There is a link in our bio or our about page on YouTube. Click on it. Join the server.
Yes, and also on every single social media, we have a link somewhere to our Discord server.
Yes. But if you're on YouTube, and you should be if you're watching this, go to our profile.
Somebody asked me how I started Rare, and I get this question a lot, so I'll give you the very brief version.
Right.
I was slacking off in a study hall, slacking off during school. It was Zoom school. I saw a video that mentioned the movie, that also mentioned the musical briefly. We barely knew the plot at this point, and I was like, I'm curious. So I started the Discord server and was like, let's find this thing. No expectations. I don't know why I started it. Like, I didn't even really care that much, TBH. And then I started the Tumblr. And then by the end of the day, I had like 30 people. Shout out Ronnie. Ronnie was number one.
I was number one.
Yes.
So you commented on my YouTube video, and you also you sent me an ask on Tumblr asking me if I wanted to join your Discord server. And I was like, sure.
And then by the end of the day, And then by the end of the day, we had like 30 people. And by the end of the week, it was like almost 100. And that's the very short version. There's a lot more to it, but that is basically how it started. Me being ADHD driven and slacking off in class. And then someone else said, got a rough estimate for how long your process or everything will take?
No.
I say no. When we started this project, I said 4 years. Very short estimation.
It's been 3.
I'd say, it's been 3. I'd say from the point of completion of the workshops, which we don't know when that will be at all, 2 to 3 years, maybe. But I mean, we'll all be alive. It'll be a fun time. It's gonna happen. I'm optimistic that it will happen. That'll be cool. I hang on tight.
Yes.
And if you like grow out of the fandom, that's okay too, because I know a lot of people who still love the show. We have a newsletter for a reason, and we don't send that many emails out. So if you feel like bad because you're not interested really in being active anymore, but you still want to know what we're up to, that's a great way. And everyone's always welcome back if they leave, and such and such and such, and it's a great, I mean, you all are great, so that's what I'll say about that.
Okay. Yeah. How do you guys manage to not freak out when talking to the actors?
We do freak out.
You do. Yeah. You can kind of see it a little bit, you know.
You can tell we're freaking out a little bit on the inside.
Yeah, of course.
I think the main thing is just knowing that as much as we love them, they are not major celebrities.
And they're people.
They're ordinary with jobs and lives.
Yeah, and they're taking time out of their day to talk to us, and we just have to be respectful, and we are respectful because we respect them.
Yes.
But yeah, they're not. We do freak out. We freak out before these things, and we freak out after these things. But once we're in it, and once we're talking to them, we realize we're just talking to people, and they're people we respect, and they're people who we're a little anxious around because we want them to like us. We want them to have a good experience talking to us. And they're people we look up to. But once we start talking to them, it's very much just, oh, this is a person who I'm talking to. And also we've done it a lot, which helps.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of, we are getting very close to Michelin's time slot.
Yes, we are.
Okay. I'm gonna put some things out there before we continue. Someone asked about donation.
We have a Ko-fi.
Have a Ko-fi.
It's not linked anywhere, but we have one.
It's not linked anywhere, but we have one. It will be.
Eventually.
And I do want to say regarding workshopping rights and such, which aren't anything official yet, everything is tentative. Please do not reach out to the Raposos or Gibsons on our behalf. If you do, I will cry. That'll make things more complicated. And if you have, which I doubt any of you have because you're smart, tell me. I won't be mad. You can talk to them to ask questions. But we need to do this, at least the legal side of things, internally.
Yes.
Just to make things actually work in our
Yes.
favor. And do not go on planning a workshop. Don't even plan for it yet, because we have guidelines that they will tell us, and and don't do anything illegally, please.
Yeah, that would be really mean if you did that.
It would, and it would be really sad too. So I just had to put that out there because I've been talking a lot about our legal standing right now, and once again, everything is tentative and everything is currently being worked out. Nothing is concrete yet. So just if something happens, we promise we will let you know. So just getting that out there.
Michelin is here.
We can let him in.
All
right,
He's on time.
He's on time. Okay.
Yay, guys!
We got through it.
Hooray! And thank you, audience. I'm cupping you in my hands.
Yes. Thank you, audience.
Woo. We're gonna be a little more. We'll be a little more chill for a bit. But if people do have questions for us, we'll be around for a little more. We're not completely exhausted yet.
Yes. I'll be here for like 10 more minutes, and I gotta go to school. Oh, back to
the grind.
Back to the
grind. 2 hours away. Gotta move. Gotta get moving.
But we're all doing good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a quick break. I gotta go to the bathroom.
That's a good idea.
I've been
Same
drinking
thing. You go
so
first.
much
We'll check out.
water.
Me too. I'll check out the chat.
Later.
I'll be dinking my oider. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay,
Hooray.
I'll be back.
Oh, I'm so thankful that went so well. Hooray.
Awesome. Alex, how are you feeling?
I'm hanging out.
Okay. Just check it in.
Chilling.
Awesome. You've met 4 Broadway performers now.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I like the dude who played Michelangelo in the Ninja
Garrett
Turtles.
says school on
cool.
Sunday. No, I gotta go back up to college. I'm at home, and school starts not tomorrow, but the day after, and I gotta move back in. Womp.
Yeah, this is great. I'm glad that went smoothly, and now we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Those are my questions.
I think we can be a bit more relaxed now with
Feel
everything.
Smiling. I've been smiling so much.
I know, my face kind of hurts, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just
Womp. I got a womp.
Absolutely.
Womp womp.
Yeah,
Yay.
great.
Someone says, "Thank you all so much. I love your work." Thank you. Hooray. I'm so tired. Okay, when Ronnie gets back, I'm taking a break.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're
Oh.
all schedule's all done now. Feel free to take breaks.
Yes.
Feel free
Somebody
to just
said,
chill.
I have another question about the rally. Do you buy tickets or do you just show up? Also, where do you look to get more information? I'm most likely going to be going to the rally. Hooray! So, you don't need tickets except for the banquet. The banquet, there is an entrance fee, and you'll send that to the organizer of the nice profile picture change. You'll send
Thank
that to
you.
the organizer of the banquet personally, and we'll get that information out on our Instagram, the Raggedy Ann Revival Instagram, as soon as it's available.
Yeah. So the main place where you find information is on the Raggedy Ann Rally Facebook. We know that not everyone has Facebook,
And
so on it for us on our Instagram, on our Tumblr, our everything email, we will take all that information and we will send it out, and we will make sure it is known, at least like when you have to start sending in stuff. But yeah, the main rally events, most of them are you just show up. They're not ticketed at all. The only one that is the banquet,
which you should totally get an entrance fee for. It's really fun. It's only like $20 something.
Which is the big thing.
Yes.
We learned the first year about the entrance fee. We learned about that. Yeah.
Did you get it?
We didn't go to the banquet the first year.
Yeah, we didn't.
And the second year, Gwen forgot that I had to message Kathy because she said that because we were doing the speech for the Revival Effort that we could get a free ticket. And so I actually did end up sending in my money because I didn't know about that beforehand. And I was like, just move my free ticket over to Gwen because they forgot to get theirs in.
Yeah. Well, I sent my money. I just don't know if it ever got there.
You sent it too late.
Sent it too late.
It's all right. Hey, we have next year. I'll figure it out.
Yes. Don't send.
I'm an adult now. I can do it.
Each year.
I can do it.
This is a learning process.
Yeah, so the only event that you need to get a ticket for is the banquet, which is the Friday night before everything, and it is 20 something, but it covers the meal and everything.
Yeah, and it's a buffet meal.
Ooh, and it's so good. It's Amish food. They got like chicken and I was feasting.
I wasn't. I have food allergies. I couldn't have a lot of it.
Oh,
but it's
right.
fine.
I remember that. But it'll be fun, and we gave a speech last year, and
it's on our YouTube
mingle.
channel.
Yeah,
it
is
right
on our YouTube channel.
Go click on our.
Okay, I'm taking a break. I'll be right back.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, take a break. Taking a break is great.
Off topic. While Ivy was talking, my cat came downstairs and was screaming at me. I don't think you could hear it over my mic, but he was.
No.
That's why I was like looking around. He was just screaming at me.
Yeah, so as far as information about the rally, just stay connected to our socials, and we post everything that you need to know about it. We will post like all of the times and dates. It is June 7th and 8th this year. And we will post everything as soon as it's released, as soon as there's a consistent schedule, and as soon as we have a deadline. At the moment, for tickets for the banquet, you do have to mail in a check to the rally organizers. So we will let people know once that is open and what the deadline is for getting that in and everything like that. But we want people to come, so we post everywhere when things happen.
Yes.
It's going. Is it all?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You're responding to the same question.
So, the Raggedy Ann Rally, number 1, is in Arcola, Illinois. Number 2, there are events going on the 7th and 8th, and also there might be an event the evening of the 6th. I don't think it's official, but it's a lot of times they have an early bird get together where you can hang out and meet people before the actual festivities start. But on the 7th and 8th, the 2 days that the rally is going, there will be events happening. Like there's a nickel auction, there's the banquet on Friday night. all day, not all day, but most of the day. Saturday there will be the market where people sell Raggedy Ann memorabilia. Um, so those are like the things that the rally does, and then us, the revival effort, will have um, our own little events. Last year we had a little cosplay get together, um, and then we also all went out to dinner one night um, and invited people to come with. So, and then this year, hopefully, there will be that music showcase, which will be an official rally event, but we will be involved with that.
Yeah.
So there are events happening.
So it's more of scattered small events. On Friday, at least, it's more of scattered small events that happen throughout the day, and then you have the banquet, and then on Saturday it's one event for a few hours, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, I think
it's not
usually the hours of the market are like 9 a.m. to sometime in the afternoon, like 2 or 3 ish.
Yeah.
There's also during the market, they'll have bingo where you can win prizes. And a lot of the vendors at the market will set some of their items on the bingo table and you can win things.
Yes. But hopefully, yeah, we'll have some of our own things going on, and we'll put out a full schedule. But it's not like a convention where you have a floor that's open the whole time. It's more a bunch of scattered events in an area.
Yes.
That are all part of the same thing.
Yes. And you will need transportation of some sort. It's not all in like a hotel or a convention center, like a convention. The events happen in different places in the town. It's a very small town, but you can't walk everywhere. Um, so the market will be in the city hall area, and the dinner will be at a restaurant in a different town. Like, you'll need transportation of some sort.
But as far as like transportation and coordinating, like getting the same hotel and stuff like that, we are active about organizing those sort of things.
Yes.
Mostly through the Discord, but also through our social media to some extent, of letting people know if we are able to give rides and of any changes in rare plans and events that we've organized, because it is a pretty small thing, a pretty small rally, and we're happy to help people if they just need a ride, or if they want to know what's going on and where people are going to be.
Yes.
We're happy to help out with little things like that.
Absolutely.
Because we want people to come.
Yeah, we want to make it more accessible for people to come and for people to start coming.
Yes. Gwen's back.
Gwen's back.
Wedding. I made a joke and my mic was muted, so it didn't come across. Well, that's okay. Just know that it was really funny, and you would have all bursted out laughing.
I'm
Trust
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gwen.
I heard you guys talking about Arcola, and basically what they all said. They're correct. Bring transportation, and if you don't have it, if you can carpool with someone, great. As for us, I'm not sure. We crammed into a car last year, and it was kind of rough.
It was.
We have one more car this year, so maybe we
it
can
will be
fit
less
like two more
rough.
people. Maybe we can carpool like 2 people, but I do recommend figuring out your own transportation for that. And there's not really Ubers. There is from the airport, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. Someone asked, will there be an update on where all of the events will be, so we know where to go? Yes, there will. There's no information about it right now because it's not happening until June, and it's January right now. So.
Yeah, guys, we're talking about it a lot, but this is a few months down the line.
Yes,
so.
This is June 7th and 8th. You have time to prepare.
Yeah.
Also, you can bring a lot of your dolls and collectibles, right? Yes, if you are wanting to sell things, you will have to pay a table fee to be in the to have a table at the market. It's not expensive. It's like $15,
It's like,
$20.
yeah, it's like $15.
It's not expensive. Some people sell from their hotel rooms. That did not happen very much last year, but that is a thing that you can do if you want. Um, but yeah, if you want to sell things at the market, you'll have to get a table.
Yes.
But you can also just bring things to have them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do whatever you
last
want.
year we had a group that showed up and each of them brought a doll.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got.
If our
I know
hotel rooms were bigger, I would make the watching of the show an event, but golly,
Yeah.
that was crammed last year.
Well, that
But it
was
was
the
fun.
biggest room that they had because we had to cram 5
Wow.
people in there.
Not this year. Except I gotta pay for my own this year. It's okay. I'm
Yeah.
responsible.
Yeah, if you're getting your own hotel room, you should pay for it. I'm not paying for it.
No, I'm not gonna make you pay. God no.
I know.
I'll force someone else in my life to pay part of it. It's okay. They'll understand. Not independent yet. We'll get there.
To do the cosplay meetup in Arcola again.
That'd be
Yeah,
so
someone
fun.
asked that earlier. I don't know if it was answered or not. Like asking permission to cosplay. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So please cosplay. But
Please.
I will say cosplaying is not really a thing that happens very often at the rally. We do it because
Yeah,
we're young and we like to, but most people won't. But that doesn't mean you're not allowed to. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Just know that it's gonna be you and then us.
And no
But
one
people
else.
but they love seeing people cosplay. Like Ronnie and Gray get pulled aside constantly for people to take pictures with them.
Yeah.
They cannot make it to the other side of the room.
And if
It
you
takes a while.
cosplay characters from the musical, no one will know who you are.
Yeah.
Except that's why we have our cosplay meetup, because that's where we
Right.
cosplay characters from the musical.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least at the market, that's when we're Anne and Andy and such, because they're recognizable. But at the cosplay meetup, like last year, I was Bat, so
I was Wolf.
and like obviously they don't know who those are, and they didn't come to that event because it was a rare event.
Yeah.
So if you want a cosplay character that's not recognizable and want to feel not alone in that, come to the rare cosplay meetup. And otherwise, like, yeah, I mean, we cosplay, so
Yeah. And I've seen people dress up like at the banquet in the past. So
yeah,
do whatever you want.
I'm wearing this shirt to the banquet and my skirt, so I've got it all figured out.
Lovely. I'm so glad.
But yeah, I mean, they pretty much, yeah, they love seeing people in cosplay. It used to be a much bigger thing when the festival was a bigger event.
Yes.
That there would be a lot more people showing up in costume.
And they had like a costume contest back then.
Yes.
They don't do that
but
anymore, but
because they haven't had enough.
We would have won. We would have absolutely won.
But maybe if more people show up.
Yeah. Maybe if more people show up.
If a bunch of people show up this year in costume, we will do an impromptu costume contest. I'm saying that because I will do it.
I want to. That sounds fun. I want to judge. I don't want to compete.
I'll compete, but because it'll be biased that way.
I'm gonna knock off points for your giant wig.
Hey.
It's a joke.
I know. I put way too much yarn in that thing.
No. And
It's
I
quirky.
kept on telling you. And you didn't. You said no. It's fine. It's not fine.
Not, in fact, fine.
But please, I mean, we're talking about it this early because we want to encourage as many people as possible to come to the rally. And the more people that are able to come and the more people that show up, the bigger the rally can be again, because it used to be a fairly large event, the Raggedy Ann Festival. But it stopped happening, and now we have the rally, which is a smaller version of that event. And we would love to see it be a big thing again. We would love to have we'd love to be able to incorporate new fandom stuff with the movie and the musical and sort of mesh together the older and the newer fandoms and bring people together for that. And the rally organizers are very supportive of that, and they love having new people. If you come to the rally, everyone will be so happy to see you, and they will be so nice.
They'll be like,
it's
oh
always
my gosh.
such a pleasure.
Yeah, it is.
Every year.
The nicest crowd I've ever been around.
Like, oh my gosh, young people. Love young people.
And this year's rally theme is Cleety the Clown.
Is Cleety the Clown.
So you will get
an awesome character.
You will get clown merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Tell your clown loving friends to show up.
Yes, your little clown friends. Yes. We've already started. Some of us have already started on our happies, which are little gifts that you give out. And a lot of times they're themed after the character. So a few of us have already started on those. So you'll get little doodads.
Yeah. All right. I want to see if I have any other questions that people asked us that I haven't asked yet. Oh, I have general ones, like what are your favorite Raggedy Ann characters?
I'll go first because I gotta leave at like 4.
Yeah, go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
Favorite Raggedy Ann characters across the whole franchise. I'll go. I guess I'll go in order. Ann, number 1, obviously, but specifically musical Ann. She's cutesy. Number 2, Bat. Number 3, Clem. I mean, I can't deny it. I'm a Clem enjoyer. And I guess I'll do top 5 because now I'm thinking about it. Number 4, Baby. Oh no, never mind. Baby goes above Clem. It's Baby then Clem. No, yeah. It's Baby then Clem. And then Marcella from the musical. She's Marcella is above Clem. Are you kidding? Okay. Clem's number 5, and then it's Marcella. She's so cutesy and quirky.
Clem keeps on getting demoted.
He does. Like, as much as I love him, like, the musical characters are on top.
Valid. It's valid.
Yeah, no demote him.
Yes. My favorite Raggedy Ann character is Wolf from the musical. And that's it. I don't have a favorite character from the books. I like Henny. I think he's funny because he's so annoying. But
number 1, Cynthia. I changed my mind.
Cynthia. But there's this random loony in Camel with the Wrinkled Knees, and he's like eating a cookie. I love him. He's in one illustration, and he's like not a character. I love him.
I'm gonna find it.
Find it.
Okay, we'll go with Gray next.
Okay, Gray next.
Oh, okay, I'll go next. If you know me already, you already know that I'm the true Clem enjoyer. Okay, because he's my number 1. I'm sorry, Gwen. He's my number 1. Always has been. Before I was introduced to the musical, I joined the fandom through the movie, so that's how I kind of got into it, and then I learned more about the musical. So he's my number 1. Here, actually, he's right here.
Under your arm.
He's under my armpit, so that's that's where he is. And then second favorite, I don't know. It's got to be Anne.
This one?
It's just solid.
Yeah, him. I'm obsessed with this guy. He's so funny.
That's a pretty good guy.
He's
a good
pretty
guy.
good.
And solid choice. Andy, because he's just so fun and you can do so much with him, and I cosplay him sometimes. So Andy. Um, Henny, because he's such a character, especially in the books.
Yeah.
I love the drama that all the characters get into. And oh, Pirate Babette.
Mm.
Really? I mean, like that is peak character design to me, honestly. All right, that's my tangent.
Lost track. I think that was 5.
I don't know.
Everyone knows my favorite. It's General D. This is not a surprise.
He's everywhere.
Y'all, I gotta leave. I gotta go.
Oh,
Thank
Bye,
you guys
Gwen.
for making
Cool.
this so enjoyable, so easy, so
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah.
quick.
Travels to school.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes.
I won't die. That's for sure. Adios. Thank you
Farewell.
guys. This was absolutely pleasant. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Yeah, number 1, Rat Man.
Number 2.
Someone has to love him.
Yes.
Number 2 is Wolf. Yeah, it's gonna be all musical characters. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've been really obsessed with like Papa and Mommy and
Yeah.
Marcella recently, and I don't think it's like specifically I love maybe Mommy. She's up there. She's
Mommy's
amazing. She's iconic. She
She
does
is.
not get enough love. That includes Shooting Star. That includes Witch. I love her. Cynthia, of course,
Our girl.
icon. Snoop Wiggy.
Yes. You love Snoop Wiggy. He's such a guy.
The guy, the character, the shape, the creature ever. Snoop Wiggy.
Yes. I will say I do also like Andy. I think he's a silly little guy. But I think I like versions of Andy who are mean. I like musical Andy because he's mean. I think Chuck Jones Andy is also like he's up there. Like he's like a little mischief maker, you know. And then Book Andy obviously because he just wants to fight
Andy
everyone.
tier list.
Yes, that's not my tier list. Musical
top
Andy's
5
top though.
Andys of all time.
Top Andys of all time. Yeah, Book Andy because he wants to fight everyone all the time, and I think that's silly funny. All right, Mac.
Mac, it's your turn.
What are
Favorite
your
characters.
favorite characters?
What are we
Top-
doing?
Favorite
Top
characters.
top 5 favorite Raggedy Ann characters.
I didn't do a top 5. You don't have to do that.
You don't have to do a top
Me
5.
neither. I didn't count.
Obviously, Jan.
What?
Just to give Jan, just a given.
Yes.
Andy. Stage Andy.
Charles Platt just said snitch noodle in the chat.
Fake
Actually,
Wiggy.
my next one is gonna be Mommy.
Yeah. That's a good
Because I love he's like the serious, tragic character.
Mm-hmm.
And then Papa just because I love him.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of a book character.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
I want to though.
Okay.
Because my parents have all been staged, and I don't think it's fair not to do one in another media.
You have to think too hard about it.
Yeah.
Then you just don't have a favorite.
Yeah. Another character that I like is I like Arthur. I like Raggedy Arthur because he's just a dog and he's a radical skateboarding dog, and I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, we
So-
love Arthur.
We
I
do.
think
love
Alex
Arthur.
knows who Arthur is.
Alex.
Alex knows about
Oh.
Arthur.
Do I know Arthur?
Raggedy Arthur.
The
Raggedy
dog.
The dog.
Elaborate. Raggedy Arthur.
He's
So
the.
Do I know this?
I don't think you
Does
do.
he
Probably
know
not.
this?
So
Someone-
Why
Raggedy
would I know this?
Arthur
Raggedy
Was a-
Arthur. Whoa.
was a
He's yellow.
character who was invented by Chuck Jones.
Mhm.
He made 2 Raggedy Ann holiday specials, and Arthur was a character that was introduced in those, and he's their dog. He's a raggedy
Okay.
dog, and he skateboards.
Yo. He's like Rob Dyrdek's dog from that show. Yo.
He's the
Sick.
skateboarding dog.
Yeah, Meaty. That was his name. Yeah, Meaty. Very talented dog.
He is.
I have a feeling, but it's probably predictable.
Mm.
Book
Camel.
Camel.
Yeah.
Do you love Campbell?
I love Book Camel. He's so small.
Yeah, I was gonna make Alex answer the question, but I won't.
The bat in the play was pretty good looking, I'm gonna
That's
say.
good.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Good
good.
answer.
Yeah, thank you. That's my answer.
Wonderful.
And she's an icon. We love her.
She is.
Yeah.
Is she the one that was on stream?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, hell yeah. Okay, cool.
You just met her.
Yeah, she I'm not gonna say anything, whatever. Anyway.
No, we love her. Icon. Fat.
Yeah, everyone seemed super nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't have agreed to multiple interviews with us if they weren't really nice.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I get that. I
If
get
they
that.
didn't like us, they wouldn't have agreed.
Uh,
They're gonna show up just to be rude to us.
yeah, no, they're gonna be front row at the premiere in 3 years. They're gonna be like, I wish I wasn't here.
Yeah.
I regret this. Yeah.
We've covered most of at least the good questions. Someone at one point asked us how the show came together, how the original show came together, and I ignored that question because I knew it would take us forever to go through.
We don't even have the full story, actually. But
No, we don't. We have a good bit of it from Gibson, but also it's from Gibson's perspective.
yeah,
So,
and he's biased.
but yeah, if you want to know the history, read the Wikipedia page or the wiki
Yeah.
page.
Yes.
Read both.
That's true. Read both. Vinny managed to pop back in when Ivy was here for a little bit.
I saw. I was gonna shout him out, but I didn't want to interrupt. I'd be like, "Hi, Vinny. Welcome back."
I want to manifest Vinny right now.
Is he back?
Vinny, I'm back.
No, he's not back right now.
But he showed up in chat for a bit, so he's alive.
Yes,
He's alive. He has not been answering my emails. Which is fine. He doesn't have to.
I like how you said you're gonna cry, and he said, "Don't cry, Ronnie."
I was actually like pretty close. I was like starting to tear up a little bit because I was like, oh, he's here. He's alive. We haven't heard from him in like months.
Over a year for me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
Dang.
And when am I?
I don't know. I email him every once in a while just to make sure that he knows that I still want to talk to him. I still think about him sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Someone asked at one point, what are our favorite songs from the show?
Oh, that's a great question. Someone else go first. Yeah, Mac, go first.
What Did I Lose?
That's a great song.
Is one of my big ones. And Carry On.
Carry On.
Carry On is one of the best songs on the show. Garrett said Werewolves of London, and I'm gonna have to agree. No, I'm kidding. um, I don't really have a favorite. I kind of like all of them. I think Carry On and What Did I Lose / Somewhere are the best songs in the show, other than the songs that were taken from the movie. Those are also really good. I want to shout out Diagnosis. Great song. It's the only one that went almost completely unchanged throughout the entire run. Original run. The only thing that changed was they added a couple and lines in there. But that I think the wordplay is great in that one. The lyrics are awesome.
It's just fun. And there's like,
it's a good song.
It's just a good song. Like most other songs, at least when you say like I feel like Diagnosis kind of gets lost in the middle.
It does.
Because there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But it's also not like quite as much of an iconic character moment as something like Carry On. It's not quite as memorable in that sense. But it's just a fun and good song.
It's just so catchy in general. Like stuck in my head on loop.
Right.
That's what it was designed to be like.
You have the disco diagnosis like
I will get specifically the Russian disco diagnosis stuck in my head, and I can't sing it because I don't know how to sing it in Russian. But it's in my head.
But you have like the video playing in your head on loop with like the effects where they're like
Yes, I have the video. I have the video projected on the inside of my mind at any moment.
Anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, you should look it up. Don't look up disco diagnosis because it won't show up.
But I'll send it in the server. I'll send it in productions. Okay, Gray, what's your favorite?
Okay, I will go. The first song I was introduced to when I first joined the revival effort was The Light, and also I'm a huge fan of more lighthearted, happy, playful kind of songs. So I'm not saying that it's the best song in the entire musical, but it's my personal favorite. Yeah, that's it.
That's a great answer.
This is so hard for so everyone.
Because all the songs are good.
I mean, obviously, like Carry On. Carry On's such a good song. Yeah. I also always need to give love to Something in the Air.
Yes.
The last segment of it, the wedding segment of it. But also So Beautiful. Wonderful bit. Something in the Air has so many good little bits.
It does.
And it's underappreciated because we don't get the full piece until Broadway. And even then it's not the full piece because Shooting Stars edited out. So there isn't really an idea of what Something in the Air sounds like, looks like in its final form and entirety. But I love it for a lot of the same reasons I love Carry On, that it has those character moments in it that are really important to me.
Right.
And also just, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's got a tango. Yes. He fights a rat. Like
the rat tango.
I will say, I think unless we get started on like some long tangent that I'm going to cut us off in about 15 minutes, I think.
Okay.
Again, unless someone asks a really good question and we have lots more to talk about, then well, but just in general.
Yeah. Hey, anyone in the chat, ask a really good question.
Yeah.
Ask us about script changes. We'll go on forever.
A bit ago, Garrett said live Raggedy Land speedrun.
Let's do that. I don't have the software to do that.
Yeah, but like unless we come up with something specific to talk about, I would like to
wrap it up.
keep us from just kind of like
sitting here,
fading off and sitting here fading off into doing nothing. Oh, I guess also when we talked about if there's any inspirations that aren't from the original source material, like there's other ones besides that. There's other shows that we've seen that we really enjoy. Recently, the Emmett Otter musical has been a big one that we keep bringing up.
Okay. Yes. I saw the Emmett Otter musical. It was in Chicago in November and December, and I went and saw it closing weekend. So, especially with their approach to the costumes, that, for me at least, is a really huge inspiration for what I want the costumes for Raggedy Ann to look like. Because the costumes for Emmett Otter, they're animal costumes, but they're not like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're scaled up versions of the puppets. So like a lot of the characters in Emmett Otter have knitwear, and like knit scarves and things, and they're knit with giant chunky yarn because they're supposed to be puppets. They're supposed to be small. So having like that scaled up, like big chunky yarn, and Emmett has a hat that's corduroy, and the actor has a hat that's not corduroy. It's like a plush, fleecy type of material that's quilted to have lines that mimic the look of corduroy, but big. And I really want that for the um, for the doll characters. I want them to look like they've been scaled up. That is the main thing with Emmett Otter, but also the at least the production that I saw had really nice like watercolor looking like book illustration looking sets and scenic design, and I would really like to try to incorporate that sort of aesthetic into the scenic design of production of Ragdolly. Another show that I constantly am drawing inspiration from is Cats. That's it. I think everything should be more like Cats. And like that's a bit, but it's also not a bit. Like I'm serious.
I mean, they incorporate a lot of knitwear into their costume designs anyway, right? So
And Cats?
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know.
Jump scare.
Jump scare.
We have jump scare. Gray, we gotta make you watch Cats.
Gray, you should watch Cats with us.
I should watch Cats. I know the one song. I don't know the name of it, and I'm not gonna rehearse it. But I do want to watch Cats. I really do.
Well, we gotta
there's so
get
many
you.
musicals I haven't seen. I'm just so busy.
That is fair. Whenever you have time, let me know. I'm gonna make you watch Cats.
Sounds great.
I mean, there are other inspirations that we have too from other things, not specifically like like shows, like stage shows.
Yes. trying to remember because I know I've thought of other. We have a lot of taking a lot of inspiration for the cloud sequence from like old Hollywood and those sort of like big bandstand sort of numbers that they would have.
Like when
And
you watch an old Hollywood musical and there's a musical sequence that is that doesn't quite take place in reality, and so they have this set that's like kind of bare and open, and like the walls are painted in this like nice gradient. um and like there's lots of flowy like silks and things. That's what we want it to look like.
yes. Liam jump scare.
Liam jump scare. Oh my goodness. He's getting closer. No. Well, you're gonna zoom in so far that it's gonna turn into the you died.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's gonna jump out of your monitor.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's been a stinker today. Bad cat.
Yeah, I know I've had other things that I've thought about that I've cited as inspiration. There's that one very specific Nutcracker rat costume that I'm obsessed with.
Yes.
Oh, I know the one. That's from the New York. I forget, but I know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh, it's such a great costume.
The one with the skull mask.
Yes,
oh,
the skull. Oh my goodness.
So
New York Ballet.
I think
something.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I remember seeing that too.
Because I'm obsessed with it, and I
Yeah.
love to
Movement.
reference that
It's so
specific
good.
rat costume. This is less of a specific thing, but I think that all of the characters should look more like the time period the show is set in.
Yes.
Agree.
That they should actually look like they're from the 1930s. And that specifically General D. Bat and Wolf should look like they're from World War One.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. Personally, I am a little bit more lenient with the with the
Well, the
costume
exact-
design inspirations.
Yeah.
Because I like to go a little bit into the future and go into like the 40s a little bit with costume design inspiration, but I know like that's just me. It's my
Like
personal taste.
if you shift around a little bit back and forth, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I think having costumes that set it a little more in the time period that it's set in.
Agreed.
And also leaning more on the military side of
Yes.
General D. Bat and Wolf.
Yes.
Which be fun.
Which they had in
They did.
85 in Moscow, but we have very little footage of that. So, and very few pictures. So, but yeah, they did look more militaristic in that specific production and those specific productions. And I think that's really interesting, and I like how it unifies the three of them.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Yes.
No more questions. Looks like we're ready to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who came. Thank you everyone who's sticking around to listen to us ramble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if we have anything left over. Garrett said Alex stars in Cats.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I gotta pick a character for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Who would
I
you be
will.
in Cats?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll
I
do
don't
it.
know. I'll figure it out. Monkstrap.
Which one is that? What do they look
He's
like?
the gray one, the gray striped one. And
Who's
he's
the leader of
the
sorts?
narrator.
Okay. I
That's
can't remember.
that's okay.
Cats,
It was so long ago.
Cats. Cats from Cats.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was tired that night. Yeah.
I know. We all were.
I was very tired. Okay.
We did have someone ask, do you guys have any advice on starting a Raggedy Ann and Andy collection?
I do. And you do.
Look, I do too. It's just called eBay and Facebook Marketplace, and like the Facebook groups specifically is the main thing.
Yes.
And
but the big
going to thrift stores and antique stores.
Yes, I mean that's
what
a
I
lot.
did.
A lot of people don't like have tried and then it doesn't.
Yes.
But yeah, go to antique. They are everywhere, and if you go around everywhere where you are and you can't find any, then yeah, eBay. But the Facebook groups, the Raggedy Ann Rally is a wonderful place. Everything will be cheap, and you don't have to pay shipping.
Yeah.
But it's really not a difficult hobby, a difficult collector to get. I collected most of these on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of the Raggedy stuff has just found its way into my life. It's just come to me, like really, and just try thrifting. There's always something in an antique store. Maybe not a lot, maybe not exactly what you're looking for, but if you don't have Facebook already, oh my goodness, just get it. There's so much stuff.
There's so much stuff. Go on
Really.
eBay and look and
Yeah,
sort by lowest price first.
Yes.
Because then you can get a doll for like $5.
Yes.
Um
And the main thing is just not feeling like you have to go for vintage dolls, and not feeling like that your collection has to have vintage or has to have licensed dolls or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find plenty of homemade dolls. You're going to find plenty of dolls released in the past 30 years that are still going to be really cheap. And you're going to find a ton of random merchandise.
Yes. I have a lot of random merchandise. I have a stapler. I have a Raggedy Ann stapler.
Oh,
I think that might be
good
the
find.
weirdest item that I have, other than the trash can.
Trash
Which I
can.
also
I
have
see it
that.
so often. It's so bizarre.
Staple with Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It says that. And it's like a little figurine, a little plastic figurine of her like writing on a desk, and you press down the desk and it staples.
Oh.
I don't think I have any pieces of merchandise that are quite as strange and iconic as Staple with Raggedy Ann. To
I
be
do.
honest,
Trying to get
It's
the tape
called
recorder.
light switch cover.
Yes.
And also choking hazard
And
Clem.
Choking Hazard Clem.
He's so tiny.
The light switch cover is iconic.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I am trying to get the tape recorder. I might. We will see. I want it.
Yeah.
I want to record my audio on the Raggedy Ann tape recorder. I am trying to think of what the weirdest official merch that I have is.
I will also say, if you are wanting vintage dolls, Knickerbocker Raggedy dolls are extremely common, and that's a great way to start off your collection, is to pick up a Knickerbocker. That's how I started my collection. I went to a local antique store and I found a Knickerbocker Raggedy Ann. No, it was an Andy. A Knickerbocker Raggedy Andy. It's just on the shelf. He was $20, which I think is like a little expensive, but he was in really, really good condition. So I picked him up, and that was my first doll in my collection. And now I have like, I don't even know how many. A lot.
Yeah. I do not have as many as you do, but I'm trying to remember. I mean, the first one that I had was one that my aunt gave me
Right.
when I was little, and then the second one is an Andy that she gave me once I started to get into it. But most of the rest of my dolls I got from Goodwill.
Yeah, I've picked up a fair few Goodwill dolls. They are all homemade except for one, which I think is the same Andy that you have. And he's an applause doll. um, but I love collecting the homemade ones. That is a great picture of your cat. I
Thank
love
you.
I love collecting the
I
homemade
appreciate
ones.
that.
You're welcome. They are so unique. And you can find them everywhere. And I love that I can have something that someone put a lot of time and effort into, and a lot of love into making. Um, and I think that's really special.
Yeah. Yeah. I love having those ones. So yeah, my advice to collectors is that this is a crazy easy thing to start collecting.
Absolutely.
When you get into a thing that the majority of people consider kitsch and not worth paying for, it means everything is very cheap.
Yes. I collect the original Johnny Gruelle books, um, and all of my books are vintage. Um, they're from the 60s and before. Um, and I don't think I've paid more than maybe $15 for a book, because I've just found them all in like antique stores, or I've gotten one at the rally, or whatever. Um, one was gifted to me. Um, that one was more expensive, but it was gifted to me, so I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
So like even if you want to get into like collecting the antique books, it's not that hard. You just have to look a little bit. But you can find them online. You can find them on eBay and on Facebook. Join the Raggedy Ann and Andy fan club group on Facebook, because they constantly have listings for people selling their collection, selling pieces from their collections. So
Yeah. And you can even post on those, I'm looking for this.
yeah, and people
Does
will.
anyone have any extras that they're willing to sell to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Man.
We are I don't think we have anything else.
Probably not.
Oh, Charles Platt, real quick answer to this. Pamela Sousa mentioned she had taken photos. Have you asked her for copies? Yes.
Yes.
But we have not put them publicly online. I guess we could check in with her about that if she'd be okay with that. But they are like available to people to see. They're in the server and such. And
or you can email us.
Or email us. Yeah, they're not quite as big. They're from her personal collection. So it's less like with a lot of the stuff that we find from archives, it is a legal issue as far as sharing stuff. With this one, it's more of just a respect, just a courtesy that we're not posting her photos online. But they're of her and other members of the cast hanging out during the Moscow production, and then a couple ones that were officially taken.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, we're welcome to share those with people who ask. We just won't be putting them anywhere super public, essentially. And I think that is it. Yeah, we've been here for a while. We're tired. But thank you.
Lunch.
Yeah, thank you everyone who came. Thank you everyone who stayed until the end with our rambling. And thank you if any of the actors who came are rewatching it.
Yes.
Thank you so much to them.
Thank you
for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.